Hey, this is Brad, Blue Nile Farm. Today I want to talk about one of my biggest problems I'm contending with in making hay is the weather. And one of the issues that I'm having, that I had last year, is I'm having this year, is that a large amount of rain is coming down and sitting in the field, and I'm in a dilemma of whether to cut it down and try to fight with the weather, or just to wait till it evaporates and the ground gets dry again and cut. So last year, we had second cut in August, and everybody was way ahead of the time. So in normal hay season in Northeastern Ohio is that we get lucky to get in the fields by June, maybe a week in May, and basically we'll cut all the way to October, and then the weather gets kind of bad. And even in October, it's even questionable at times. So that's our hay time frame. The problem that we've had, though, in the last couple of years is that it's not that we're getting an inch of rain or so. We're getting 4 to 5 inches or 3 inches of rain. It's coming down so hard and so fast that, water just sits in these fields. So even though I cut my hay 4 inches above the ground and I deal with grass hay, that under layer that has water in it will never go anywhere. Even if I drop that hay down, it's going to be resting on wet ground. So even if you go through with a tedder, or you go through with a rake, you're always hitting that water, and it's not going to evaporate until it evaporates. So the best answer that I'm thinking about right now is that it's best for me, after last year I lost fields because of fighting the weather and standing water in the ground, that I may just sit back for a week or two and see if it dries out and then start baling again. I'd rather have more mature hay and get it off dry than it is for me to fight the weather. Anytime you get pieces of equipment in wet ground, you're going to tear it up. You're going to make ruts, and it's not going to do you any good. So I'm into the belief this year that I might just have to bite the bullet and wait. And that might be the best thing, because I'd rather be successful in my hay production, because I really don't want to bring wet bales into the barn. And then once you have a bunch of wet bales, you're going to be pulling your hair out. So that's my thoughts on how to deal with wet hay. I have a pond right now it's raised above the overflow. We've had that much rain. I think they said that we had 5 inches of rain in my county about 4 days ago. Today, we've probably got another 2 to 3 inches at least on top of this. And it's too much. And until this weather changes and we don't get so much rain at one time, I think most of the farmers, and me included, as far as hay producers go, we're kind of stuck. And I know there's going to be guys out there that are going to try to cut hay, and I'm sad to say, I think that their hay is going to be hard to get it off dry. Unless you have really well-drained fields, I don't see it happening, personally. And my fields are not well-drained. So I'm kind of stuck in a bad position of trying to figure out what's the best alternative for this. So if anybody has any comments or any ideas, please feel free. I don't do baleage. I don't do the chemical as far as help the drying process. I don't mess with that either. So, I do it all natural, and I rely on Mother Nature. And so my opinion is I'd rather have more mature hay than to have hay that's wet. And I think that's really the best alternative. Plus I work full time too. So every day that I have to take off of work is just a day that I'm losing. And I'd rather knock down as many acres as quick as I can and be done with it than to drag it out and just try to do field after field. Because if you got to go in a field and ted several times over, or rake several times, or raked and re-ted, you're wasting time or wasting money, and in the end, you're not going to get the end result that you want anyway. So ideally, I think it's just best to wait, and that's really my best advice to people that are in this same type of scenario. Don't always be so eager to get in there, because I am, and I probably have not even half of my hay done. And I should have been done. Last year I was done now with first cut. And this year, I'm afraid I'll be going into August before I get all of it done. So, but that's the situation that we're in. And that's pretty unfortunate. But again, I'd rather get the quality off and dry hay than to get wet, gooey hay. Hey guys, thanks for watching. It's a very tough decision that most of us face when we're in this type of position. I ideally wish I was in a drought than I am when I'm in a bog. We had the drought, but it was high humidity. And then when the rain came, we had a pop-up shower, and it hasn't let up since. And this is the downfall of farming, you know, and everybody thinks, you wonder why your hay prices get the way they do, and why, you know, it's never a very simple thing. It's probably one of the most stressful things I can think of is baling hay, because it's like you have to gamble and get about a 4 to 5 day window in my area to really get in there and bale. And you know, you're always worried about pop-up showers or rain, and you're trying to watch the radio and the news anchors and thinking they're giving you the right information. Some of the radio stations, every day they say there's a chance of rain. So, you know, you just never know, and it makes it really tough. So with that said, you know, I'd like to thank everybody for watching the video, you know, and hopefully you're not dealing with the same thing I am dealing with, but if you are, you know, think about waiting, because, you know, I've tried this before going in these fields, and this year I'm like, I'm going to wait, because I know it was so miserable last year and I lost the field. And when you're losing bales, you're losing money. I'd rather try to feed out or sell over aged hay than to definitely get hay that no hay at all because you lost it because of Mother Nature and rain. So I guess waiting is the best game plan, and that's what I'm going to do.